Hello everyone, Metallic Minty Pony here, and I'm going to be reading something different today. Instead of the normal pony fan fiction, I'm going to be reading a Warriors Cats fan fiction. It's from the wiki, warriorshare.wikia.com, and it's by someone whose username is Rowanfall. It's called In Search of Catmint, and the synopsis is: Rock Clan is falling apart, with almost every cat in the clan sick with green cough. There is no Catmint anywhere, and Nightclaw must go journey through the snow, ice, and freezing cold to find the herb and save his clan. It's really short, and if I'm lucky I might even be able to finish it in one video. It's only 5 chapters, and each chapter's only a couple of paragraphs. I think this was submitted for a contest. I managed to catch the writer in chat. And it's early in the morning, so I managed to get permission to read it. Let's start, shall we? Chapter 1. A dark black Tom hopped through the waves of powdery white snow. The cold battered his face, and his short fur didn't warm him much. He was also weighed down by the prey he carried in his mouth, but he couldn't lose this fresh kill in the snow. His clan needed this food more than ever now. He looked up at the sky, where Silverpelt glowed, and the warriors of Star Clan gazed down upon him. Star Clan, please let us survive this leaf bear, he thought desperately. He shivered as a gust of wind knocked more snow into his face and sent a chill down his pelt. He chose not to take this as a sign of hopelessness from Star Clan and pressed onward. Nightclaw! Nightclaw! The Tom pricked his ears as he heard a female voice shout out to him. He turned and saw a ginger she-cat bounding towards him through the snow. She was short, and when she caught up to him and stood by his side, she was belly deep in the snow. Are you lost? You just walked past the camp. I'm sorry, Flameglow, Nightclaw said to the prey in his mouth. Oh, I probably should have made a muffled sort of voice. I don't know. He would have licked his chest embarrassedly, but couldn't through the prey in his mouth. Instead, he decided to defend himself. I can't see or scent anything through the snow. You can't blame me. It doesn't matter, Flameglow had to shout above the roaring of the gust of wind. We need that prey back at camp. She turned and hopped through the snow, and Nightclaw followed her. The two warriors soon found the camp, which basically looked like a big pile of snow from the outside. Nightclaw slipped through a narrow tunnel that was the entrance to the camp, and immediately felt warmth overcome him. Nightclaw padded over to the fresh kill pile and laid his now steadily growing colder prey upon it. He sighed with relief and sat on the ground before looking around the camp. The camp was half built out of a cliffside and half built out of a wall of snow. The warriors had spent a long time gathering the snow and building up the thick walls. The clan did this every leaf bear to keep the snow and cold out. Nightclaw, there you are! Nightclaw turned to see a golden Tom running over to him. The Tom smelled of herbs and had a few leaves in his fur. He had a bedraggled look and sleepy eyes, as if he had been working for 3 sunrises straight with no time for grooming. Did you find any more catnip? Catmint, sorry. Did you find any more catmint? Nightclaw shook his head sadly. I searched all over the territory and... He cut off abruptly and gazed around. He saw no one but himself, Flameglow, and the Golden Tom. He waited a moment until Flameglow had returned to her den before continuing what he was saying. And I even searched some kitty pet gardens. I know Featherstar told me not to go out of the territory, but... The Golden Tom placed his tail on Nightclaw's shoulder. You're afraid. We all are. All of Rock Clan wants the sick warriors to get better as much as you. But my sister, Softleaf, what will I do if I lose my littermate to this year's green cough? Nightclaw looked out sadly into the hazel eyes of Softleaf. Softleaf just sighed, turned, and padded back towards the medicine den. Only Star Clan can tell, he whispered before disappearing into his den and leaving Nightclaw feeling like he was going to cry. But the Black Tom breathed in deeply, closed his eyes, and gathered his courage. I won't let my littermate die. He looked upwards towards the one small hole in the roof that protected the clan from the harsh weather outside. Through it he saw the dark night sky with the glimmering stars of the past warriors. Star Clan, if there's anything at all I can do to save my clan, tell me. If there's anything that can save the lives of my friends, my littermates, and my clanmates, tell me so I can do that. I won't let them die. Chapter 2. Find the Catmint where the star glows. Nightclaw could see a glimmering figure of a brown and black she-cat in front of him. Mother? He whispered, astonished. Find the Catmint where the star glows, the she-cat repeated. The entire scene faded from Nightclaw's eyes, rippling away like when a pool of water is disturbed. Nightclaw, is something wrong? Nightclaw blinked open his eyes. He was lying in his moss nest, and a glow of sunlight came from outside his den. He lifted his sleepy head and looked around for where his mother had gone. Ma? He whispered again. Nightclaw! He felt a sharp jab in his side that knocked him fully into reality. He looked around and saw flame glow at his side once more. The ginger she-cat looked annoyed. I'm not your mom, Mousebrain. You were mumbling in your sleep. Nightclaw licked his chest hastily, then answered, Just an odd dream. He gazed through the entrance of the den, which was dark due to the fact that it was nothing but rock and moss, and saw the sunlight shining off the snow out in the camp. Uh-oh, it's daylight. Are Hazelbranch and Thrushfur up yet? Hazelbranch is, but we should let Thrushfur sleep a bit longer. You weren't the only one up hunting in the middle of the night. Flameglow headed towards the entrance. But I'm going hunting, and since you're awake, I suggest you do too. We only have 5 cats fit for hunting, so we need to hunt as much as we can to make up for the sick warriors. Nightclaw nodded. Flameglow slipped out through the entrance, but Nightclaw took a moment to wash the moss out of his short black fur. He wasn't too happy about going out into the snow again, but he knew he had to. He stretched and yawned before slipping out of the den as well. Cutscene. Nightclaw stiffly made his way towards the camp once more. He had been out hunting all day, and had gotten no more than 3 small mice and a rabbit. He made sure to keep a close eye out for the camp so he didn't pass it again, and upon seeing the entrance, he hopped into the warmth gladly. Nightclaw padded over to the fresh kill pile and set his prey there. The sharp and unpleasant stench of death hit his nose, and he froze. He started to shake with fear, and turned around. He heard some shuffling in the medicine den, and padded over to it. Nightclaw? Softleaf called from inside. You're back. I have sad news. Nightclaw could infer what the news was. He took a deep breath and gathered his courage again before sliding through the entrance of the medicine den. Inside was the strong scent of mint. Nightclaw knew Softleaf had rubbed mint all over the den to help with the smell of sickness, but it could not smother the strong scent of death. All around in moss nests lay sleeping cats, all resting as their sickness made them weak. Who? Nightclaw asked softly. Softleaf sighed. Lemon Paw, he answered. Featherstar's already off to find where the ground is soft enough to bury her. Nightclaw felt himself deflate. Lemon Paw was his sister's apprentice. The words echoed deep in his head. Find the Catmint where the star glows. His eyes snapped open. Softleaf, I need traveling herbs. Let me take a quick break and see how long I've been recording. Oh wow, I only have a few minutes left. That's longer than I thought. Let me pause the recording. Okay, I don't have long left, but I might have enough time to finish reading Chapter 3. Chapter 3. Nightclaw stood just in front of the exit of Rock Clan camp. He looked over his shoulder and saw Featherstar, a light gray tabby she-cat, Thrushfur, a tortoiseshell tom, Hazelbranch, a dark brown she-cat, Flameglow, and Softleaf. These were the last members of Rock Clan who were even fit enough to stand up. Good luck in your journey, Nightclaw. Featherstar nodded her head to him. Please find the Catmint we need, Thrushfur said. And come back quickly, Hazelfur said. And safely, Softleaf nodded. Flame Glow smiled kindly and hopefully, something that wasn't like her at all. "Go save RotClan," she told him. "I will," Nightclaw told him proudly. "Just keep my clanmates alive until I return." With that, he turned and slipped out of camp and into the cold and snowy world beyond. He looked up into the night sky, where StarClan looked down upon him. He searched through the sky, looking for a specific star. There it was! One star was glowing brightly, rivaled only by the moon. It shone down upon him, telling him to follow it. "Find the Catmint where the star glows," he said aloud to himself. He leaped forward through the snow, going in the direction of the bright star. "I'm going to save my sister. I'm going to save my clan." Softleaf sat in the crowded medicine den, grooming his fur for the first time in weeks. The sound of coughing was all around him, and made him wince as if he was the one experiencing pain. He looked around at the sick cats laying in his den. "Softleaf," a raspy voice called. Luckily, the medicine cat had good hearing, or he might not have heard the soft call. He abandoned his grooming and weaved his way through the crowds of ill warriors. He ended up by the side of the Ginger Tom, who was barely strong enough to cough anymore. "Bright Flame, do you need any more honey to soothe your throat?" Softleaf asked, crouching down by the RotClan deputy's side. Bright Flame shook his head slowly. Then he opened his bright green eyes and looked over at the medicine cat. This is the kind of look you couldn't lie to. "Softleaf, is there any hope?" "What do you mean?" Softleaf asked, even though he was sure he already knew the answer. "Is there any hope that RotClan will make it through this leaf bear?" Softleaf was silent for a long time. All he could do was look at the deputy. Bright Flame was hurting. There was nothing he could do for his clan. He thought of himself as a useless cat. Softleaf wished he could tell the poor cat, who was worried about the survival of his clan, that everything was going to be all right. "Not much," he admitted. "The Nightclaw is going to save us. He's out looking for Catmint. He could bring it back, and we would all survive." Bright Flame's eyes filled with sadness. "I hope he succeeds. Maybe if I join StarClan tonight, I'll guide his paws." "Don't talk like that, Bright Flame," Leafball, a tortoiseshell she-cat in moss nest next to Bright Flame's nest, said. "You need to live to be Bright Star. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst, Leafball." Bright Flame laid his head down on his nest and drifted into sleep. Softleaf, worried, checked to make sure the deputy's breathing was normal before returning to his grooming. "May StarClan light our path and guide our paws," he whispered. Okay, I think I'll end it off there. There's only 3 chapters left. That was the end of chapter 3. So, if you enjoyed, subscribe for more. I'll put out part 2 really soon. And maybe if you guys want, actually, I think I will do more Warriors fan fictions, because this wiki is full of short, sweet fan fictions and stuff like that. And the people on here are kind, so they might let me get permission. Rowanfall let me. That was by Rowanfall. So, like I said, if you enjoyed, subscribe for more. My name is Metallic Minty Pony, and I'll see you all later.